Mind Crypto here. I hope we're all having a wonderful day. And the title of the video is Trillions Flowing, You Just Won't See It. This is going to be very, very interesting. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. And none of the information provided in this video should ever be a signal to buy or to sell. Remember, please subscribe, hit that like button, and share this so other people can see it, and it'll help me with the algorithms and allow me to keep posting quant videos every day. But first and foremost, we're going to look at crypto quant, and as we can see, the exchange reserves still at 1.393 million, and we are seeing the net flow slightly higher than the last 7 days on net deposits on exchanges. But the relative strength index is looking neutral. But we are going to cut to the chase today. And we see this. Now, I spotted this on a Telegram group and Alpha Sigma Capital. Now, listen to this. It says the system will look the same potentially, but in the back end, a lot of this will be digital asset technology. That's definitely going to happen. In fact, one of the companies we invested in is QNT NETWORK. And this is a quote from Enzo Villani of Alpha Sigma Capital, which Miles Bron has been talking about a heck of a lot. And I'm assuming he may be something to do with this. But let's have a listen to this.
Two major things. One is, if you do get a job at Goldman Sachs, right, or at a hedge fund, you're going to be probably using, the systems will look the same potentially, but in the back end, a lot of this will be digital asset technology. That's definitely going to happen. In fact, one of the companies we invested into, called QUANT NETWORK, is run by the person who is the head of cybersecurity for the Bank of England. The customers who he has CNET is 1,500 European banks and payment processors. But what this guy has done is he's created like a interoperability operating system between different blockchains. So different blockchains can talk to one another, or asset classes can go from Ethereum to whatever other asset. So it's very technical. I look at him like a Cisco router. When I'm like an internet guy, right? So I look at him and I say, you remind me of Cisco. You're like the router. And he is in now with MIT and Microsoft, and they're building some other, they're working for like the Federal Reserve banks, the Boston one, the one in New York. I mean, so that the technology is being used to do this. So for you, it may not be, you either might be exposed to it, but even if you're in a normal daily trading environment, if you're doing, algos and quant trading, the equities might be sitting.
Wow. So as he said, it's like a Cisco router for him, back end. Now, who is Enzo Villani? As we can see here, the ASC team consists of over 100 years of experience in strategic planning, trading, investing, and innovation on Wall Street at institutional firms such as Nasdaq, Capital Group, IBIS Management, the Riverside Company, and HIG Capital, combined with the top blockchain and entrepreneurial leaders, investors, and advisors from Asia, the Americas, and Europe. It says here, a quote from Enzo, blockchain is the most cost-effective and open source clearing and settlement system for transactions ever invented. It's going to change the world, and it's already changing it. And as we can see from his bio, Enzo Villani is a serial entrepreneur with 20-year expertise as the chief strategist to Fortune 500 companies, private equity firms, and venture capital. Enzo was the co-founder of Nasdaq Corporate Solutions and chief strategy officer of two strategic M&A consolidations in the areas of investment relations, proxy solicitation, corporate governance, and financial technology. Enzo was key in consolidating over 10 service companies across 4 continents, representing over 5,000 public companies and raising in excess of $500 million in the blockchain industry. Enzo was Chief Strategy Officer of Transform Group. Transform Group represented the launch of over 37% of the altcoin market capitalization by 2019. He is the co-founder of Blockchain Wire and was the head of international strategy and innovation at OKX. Enzo holds an MBA from Cornell University Johnson School. So not just a small player. Now, let's look at this even deeper. We see this from Tokenizer. Enterprises don't want to interact with crypto for business. Fiat for the front end, token automation for transactions on the back end. This is the key to successful, sustainable tokenomics in an enterprise setting. We also see this from San. Do you live in Europe? All you government data will be put on Web2 SaaS DLT backend. Trillions of transactions a day. Private DLTs. The quant community cares more about utility and adoption than utopian views. CBDCs, Web2 SaaS, trade networks, Web2 SaaS, all about control. I absolutely agree with this. And as we can see here from FinExtra, it will allow public organizations to develop applications that connect to and make use of EBSI infrastructure. Eventually, it will be extended to private organizations. Upon completion, EBS aspires to be facilitating up to 15 billion transactions per minute, a world first for blockchain technology. And we move on. We see this from Crypto Wookie. This was back in 2021. And he's replying to a tweet. What should have also been mentioned in here is the fact clients only deal with fiat. Quant is used in the back end via automated treasury model. The client never has to deal with tokens. Yet this token captures the value. Genius design in his opinion. So let's have a quick listen to Gilbert Verdian.
Does this mean a central bank that will use the overledger will pay in QNT? Is it a joke?
That's a good question. So thank you for the question, Alexei. So what we're doing is providing the rails, the network infrastructure to be able to transact. If the application running on the Overledger network is a CBDC, then it has the same rules as the network. You have to pay the transaction fees in QNT, the license fees to be able to do that. It really depends if they use it. So I would love to see central banks using the Overledger network. It will be a great testament to the technology, and there's a lot of interest in this space. And what we'd love to bring is interoperable payments around the world onto the Overledger network, so you can transact cross borders without having the limitations of the existing system. So if that's the case, we'd love to have that on there.
And obviously, since then, this being in 2021, we've seen what's happening. Project Rosalind, Bank of England, the Bank of International Settlements. We now know. Now let's have another look. San put this tweet out, and yes, the token is needed at the back end. It still utilizes Overledger, which is run on the Quant token. And when it has a use case with Ethereum, that gas are still being used. Here's a nice explanation. And as we can see here from Philosophical Carrot, before we get token not needed, people still applying L1 lens towards Overledger, applying MS-DOS lens towards an operating system with GUI. Think of a club. Here we go. Imagine a club which has every drink under the sun, where you have to pay in Russian rubles when ordering a vodka, yen when ordering a sake, renminbi when ordering a beiju. Now, when you enter the club, you pay fiat. You get a cool stamp on your hand that allows you to enter and buy drinks with tiers for VIPs and supermodels. And you also get drinks coupon that can be used to order anything, be it vodka, sake or beiju. The club still requires you to pay to enter. You still need the cool stamp to transact in drinks. There are a limited number of stamps, and that number is way less than the throngs of people queuing outside waiting to enter the club. But now you don't need to carry bags of rubles, yen and renminbi to the club. You just need to carry your stamp and best dance moves. The club settles the rest on the back end. They still pay the vodka suppliers rubles, the Yazuka yen, the Chinese liquor lord renminbi, but that comes from profit from operating the club. Customers don't do that. Absolutely. And this is a great example. Then we see this from Yoda JR. The OS model was developed for computer networking. Every phone, computer, or back-end equipment uses the OSI model, and most people don't even realize it. The Quant Overledger is the equivalent of the OSI model for blockchain. Now, absolutely, most of the things we use, we don't know how it works or why it works, but we use it. We just accept it. It's a bit like the internet. So many things that we use on the internet are using technology that we haven't a clue about. That's why I'm a massive believer in quant and what they're actually doing. And then we see this last but not least, Dread Bongo. And this again was from 2019. You're in charge of a large enterprise and you want to incorporate blockchain DLT into your business. You spend millions of dollars restructuring your backend, hire a costly team of blockchain developers and engineers, or you use Overledger with just 3 lines of code. And as we can see, we've interconnected the Enterprise 5, Corda, Hyperledger, Ethereum, Quorum, Ripple, and then everyone else. Absolutely massive when you hear some of the words from Enzo Villani and all the information that's been provided that's in your face for these years that we've been watching this. Wow, I'm kind of excited. I hope you are. Please subscribe. Please hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any further videos like this. All the best, and I will catch you later.